A disclaimer before we begin. The changes I'm speaking of take place on July 1st, 2024. These changes are being made due to a ruling by the Department of Justice of the United States of America. I'm only speaking about the state of Indiana, where my license is currently valid. I'm Steve Hetrick, realtor broker with the FC Tucker Company. Let's talk about compensation. It used to be that more often than not, the compensation for a buyer's agent was paid by the seller. Now regulations have changed, and the responsibility to pay compensation for the buyer representation, the agent who represents and protects you, falls on you, the buyer. The buyer's agent can still negotiate with the seller's agent to get them to contribute to that compensation, whether it be the entire amount or a portion. But now with the new regulations that all agents must follow, at the end of the day, making sure that the buyer's agent gets paid is now the responsibility of the buyer. Legally, you'll have to sign an agreement before any buyer's agent in the state of Indiana can work with you. That agreement will always say that the buyer is ultimately responsible to pay the buyer's agent commission, not the seller. That said, the seller can still pay the commission, it just has to be negotiated off of the MLS. The new regulation does not say that the seller can't pay the buyer's representation fee. It's something that can be negotiated on your behalf. Some sellers still choose to pay the buyer's agent compensation and some won't. So you can choose to write an offer on a home where the seller pays the fee for your buyer's agent, or you can choose not to write an offer on a home if the seller is not willing to pay it. And again, all commissions or compensation is always negotiable between all parties, and it always has been. There is no traditional, customary, or standard commission amount. Commissions are negotiable, just as who will be paying for them is negotiable as well. That compensation can seem like a big chunk. So is it really worth it? If you choose the right broker to represent you, it definitely is. Seller's agents are just that. They are there to represent the seller. You want someone who's working on your behalf. Most experts agree that buyers who try to represent themselves on their own end up paying more for a home because they don't have the negotiation skills or market knowledge that an agent does. They might also miss out on finding the best home for themselves because they don't have access to all the listings and information that only an agent has. Not only that, but buyers who don't have a real estate expert in their court can end up with dozens of legal headaches, unexpected costs, and end up in litigation. It's a very complex process. When buyers decide to represent themselves in a real estate transaction without the expertise of a buyer's agent, they might think they're saving money, but when you consider the overall financial investment and potential liability involved, it's really a false savings. Having representation makes such a huge difference. For example, according to the National Association of Realtors, homes sold directly by owners, known as for sale by owner, or FSBO, sometimes FSBO, tend to sell for an average of $95,000 less than sellers who use an agent. So if having professional representation can make that much of a difference to a seller, think about how much it could benefit you, the buyer, even if you're the one paying your agent's commission. And you know what? Your agent doesn't get paid at all until they've succeeded in getting you into that home you want. Here's what a great broker does for you. First, I'll guide you toward the right home. This means that I start by connecting you to a reputable mortgage loan officer so you can really understand what you can afford. You don't want to waste your time looking at a Mercedes if a Kia is what you truly qualify for. A great broker will also help you get a clear understanding of what you need, your priorities, and what you'd love to have in a home. The must-haves, so to speak, or the nice-to-haves. Next, before dragging you around on home tours, I'll research different neighborhoods and homes to find you great matches. I'll provide detailed information on things like school scores, crime rates, traffic patterns, local amenities before you ever step in the car. You'll know exactly what you're looking at and that it fits what you're looking for. Then once you find a home you like, I'll research the current market and market trends even further, and we'll talk to the seller's agent about the seller's priorities and hot buttons. At this point, I'll ask the seller's agent if the seller's willing to pay the free fee of your broker's agent. All of this is to help you write an offer that will be attractive to the seller at a price you can afford, with terms that you want, or to help you decide whether you want to make an offer at all. I will present your offer and begin the negotiation process. A great agent will be a terrific collaborative negotiator with the expertise and experience to know how to compromise and create a deal that both you and the seller are happy with. I, as your agent, will be able to negotiate things like rent backs, potential maintenance issues, repair requests, and closing costs, including the buyer's agent compensation. I will negotiate the right price and terms and make sure you're not paying more for the home than you should. I will negotiate credits and additional terms on your behalf that the seller will pay for instead of you. The seller's agent wants to protect the seller and get them the most money and best terms. As your buyer's agent, my job is to do the same for you. My goal is to negotiate all of this and make sure you're getting the best possible price and terms. Once your offer is accepted, the title company will begin the title search process, and we will discuss any red flags. You will order inspections like whole house, pest inspections, plus any special inspections needed like pool, well, or septic, and we will discuss any issues that arise from them. Your lender will coordinate an appraisal and discuss the results with us. We will review the seller's disclosure and point out any potential problems, then negotiate a resolution to those issues. I can connect you with home insurance companies, home warranty providers, and help you choose the best options for your situation. I will manage all these people and processes to keep your escrow on track, and I will communicate regularly so you know exactly what's going on. My job is also to make sure that you are protected from any legal liability and to help keep your initial earnest money deposit safe and to ensure the home closes. Yes, I as your agent will spend lots of hours, much of it behind the scenes, working on your behalf, and it's only when we succeed and you have the keys to your dream home that I get paid. Again, per our agreement, you as the buyer are contractually responsible to pay this fee, though I will negotiate and try to get the seller to pay it. So this and oh so much more is what a good buyer's agent will do for you and why you need one. If you've got any additional questions, just reach out. I'm happy to elaborate more. I'm Steve Hetrick with the FC Tucker Company. Have a great day.